Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. Welcome back to Three Buck Theater. We're going to be talking about Alien and the future of the Alien franchise today, because that is something that, honest to God, needs to be discussed. Now, listen, we know that interconnected, multi-movied franchises are all the rage these days. And you know what? Ever since 1978, Alien has had a number of films come out. Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection. We know we have to admit that it exists, even if you don't want to. Same to be said about Alien 3. But Alien vs. Predator 1 and 2, then Prometheus. I mean, it spanned multiple decades, and people always want more. But the question is, what happened, right? And Ridley Scott says here that he promises never to close down the Alien franchise again, because he kind of sat on it for a long time. I mean, we went from 1990, was it 1990 or 1991 was Alien 3. Like 1986 was Aliens. I think like 90 and 91 was Alien 3. 97 was Alien Resurrection, and then Prometheus not until 2012. I mean, that's like 15 years in between. And I'm not counting the AVP movies. As much as I love them, they're not canon. So in this particular regard. But I'm very curious to see what happens going forward. It does say here that while the Aliens franchise started off strong with Ridley Scott's 1979 sci-fi horror movie. Sorry, I said 78. It's really 1979. And James Cameron's awesome 1986 action follow-up, Aliens, the series, never quite reached the height of those first installments again. It's 92 for David Fincher. God damn it. I really should proof these articles first. So 92 for Alien 3, and then 97 for Alien Resurrection. Failed to live up to fans, not to mention the two horrendous AVP movies. Okay, you know what? Fucking side tangent here. Okay, Alien vs. Predator, Paul W.S. Anderson's attempt at mixing the two franchises together in an island off the coast of Alaska, was not an ultimately horrible film. It wasn't a great movie, but it wasn't a horrible film. The unrated cut was a lot better. 20th Century Fox back in 2003, because it came out in the summer of 2004, I think. Yeah, it was 2004, first week of August, if I recall correctly. And I do, because I worked at the movie theater at the time, and one of my best stories comes from that particular situation. So anyway, you had that. Okay, yeah, that's right. It was a year prior to that was Freddy versus Jason. Never mind. This is just more info you guys don't need. But anyway, so you had 2004. Okay. And at the time, PG-13 movies were, still like the hot ticket item, and they were very, very kind of tight on what you could see in PG-13 movies. Swearing was limited to maybe like 2 shits and a fuck. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot there. There was not even a lot of sex. It was not even a lot of like sexual shit. It was just kind of nothing. It just, it was a weird time. And I think Fox was afraid about how Alien would translate over to the new generation. Because I went to go see AVP, midnight show, took my kid brother to go see it. He really liked it. Then a couple years later, when AVP Requiem came out, we all went to, like, everyone at my theater, we all went to go see it. We all fucking loved it. To this day, we all still love Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Maybe it's because we saw it as a group. Maybe it's because we all enjoyed it together. Maybe it's because they killed a shitload of kids in that movie. And even the entire scene in the fucking in the goddamn hospital when the Pralien infects all those pregnant women. Yes, it's over the top, but god damn it, it was cool. Never mind the fact that, again, full disclosure, I'm good friends with one of the animatronics guys who did a bunch of set design for it, as well as developed the Pralien at the end of AVP, and did some of the stuff, some of the props and everything else. So there's that. So maybe, again, I'll be honest with you guys. It might be because I know people who worked on the movie, but ultimately I enjoyed it, so I don't feel they're as bad as people give them. As people like to talk shit. They're not the most horrible thing on the goddamn planet. That's okay. Rant over. Sorry. Rant over. Scott finally returns to the franchise. He originated with the 2012 Prometheus. The prequel was met with mixed reviews, but still made enough at the box office to kickstart the series once again. Yeah, Prometheus gets better the more you watch it, when you're able to look to see some of the stuff in the background and some of the nods to the original franchise. But still, there's like deleted scenes in that movie that are on the Blu-ray that go, oh, this makes more sense. Why was this cut out? And still, to this day, we have no idea. No idea why they cut a lot of that shit out, and I don't think we'll ever get a full answer. But it goes on. Scott's next film in the franchise, Alien Covenant, is the first film in a new trilogy that are said to bridge the gap and serve as the back entrance to Prometheus, from Prometheus to the 1979 original. Scott has confirmed that the second film in the trilogy has already been written and that he'll be ready to go with the next film by next year. So Ridley Scott is nothing if not a insanely busy filmmaker. I mean, this dude works constantly. And he's getting up there in age too. I don't want him to work himself to death, but goddamn, like he loves to fucking make movies. And if he's ready to go in another Alien film, that's all good. Now, what could happen though is, Alien Covenant comes out here in 2 months, just 2 months. It comes out and he can look at the audience reaction, see what they liked, see what they didn't like, and then go and tailor the next movie in order to kind of, fix what went wrong. Which if he's, they're ready to go by next year, that means they got to start shooting like June. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that's what's going to happen. They might be waiting to see the response, have the core outline ready for the next Alien film, and then go from there. So it says here, Scott's next film in the franchise, Alien Covenant. Oh. So it goes on. Still, with the troubled history of the franchise, you can't blame one for fearing that this new flood of Alien films will dry up eventually. However, if Scott has anything to say about it, the franchise will keep going after these next 3 films. Speaking with the Sydney Morning Herald, he says, "If you really want a franchise, I can keep cranking them out for another 6. I'm not going to close it down again. No way." And the reason for this probably is because I think he wants control over it. I think he knows that fans of the franchise, the next generation of fans of the franchise, and future generations of fans of the franchise want it to go back to its roots. They don't like how it became, as grand as Aliens was, and Aliens is still to this day the shit. It is so tonally different from the first movie that it very much feels like an entirely different franchise altogether. Yeah, it has Ripley, but it still feels like this crazy, franchise. It just feels totally different. Whereas the Alien Isolation video game felt more in tune with the movie and everything, continuing that franchise going forward versus Aliens. And Alien 3 was whatever, and Alien Resurrection was a weird French horror film. So there is trouble parts with the franchise, but they're not unable to kind of correct the ship. Okay. They're not unable to correct it. And if they do anything, what they might do is sit there and realize, okay, we have Alien, we have Aliens. Let's continue the story going forward. We'll run it parallel, right? Think like Alien Colonial Marines that came out in 2013, I believe, or 2014. It's considered canon, right? They could turn, and that was definitely based more on the Alien side of things than the Alien side of things. But I'm trying to say basically is there are many things that they could do that could work well for the franchise if they want to run parallel to the original trilogy, and then maybe even kind of, pull a Superman Returns or something and kind of come back in at the very end and go, yeah, we're altering the events of what happened. So Ripley doesn't end up on the prison colony. She actually ended up landing on Blowjob Island or something, or Pussy Eater Island or something. I got no idea. And then they go from there. That's what I'm thinking that they might do. We'll have to wait to see. I do understand that this particular video has been kind of all over the place, but there's a lot that goes on with this franchise, as well as my own personal opinions with it. But I am curious to know your thoughts. Do you think Ridley Scott can keep this thing going for 6 more movies? Should he even attempt to make it 6 more movies? Do you think that the franchise should just be allowed to be rebooted and maybe cast a whole new Ripley and go from there? Or should it be maintained and continued? And at the same time, how would you continue this story? Right? I mean, as grand as the Aliens movies are in terms of scope and scale, how far can you really take it? Right? It still boils down to the same premise, man versus monster. So these are things I want to know. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like it, comment, subscribe, and check back later for more content from me. All right, everyone. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.